Richburg live from beadshop.com. And you know what? It's Free Tip Friday. Woo! We made it to the weekend. Today, oh my gosh, we're going to be working on a cool free tip. Those of you who maybe saw our Wednesday live broadcast on Off the Cuff, today I'm going to do a quick earring for you. It's going to be totally off the cuff. So let's just jump in and get started. Grace, who is usually behind the camera, she's behind the camera now. We are super busy getting ready for all of our weekend stuff. So she's starting me behind the camera, but she's passing it over to me. So I'm going to be working our Free Tip Friday today solo. But I can do it, Gracie.
You can.
Alrighty.
Geach is here.
Hey,
Lorraine is
everybody.
here. Gwen's joined.
It's great
Sue
to
is
see
here.
you all. Great.
And Gwen says hi, Kate.
Oh,
Judy's
hi,
there.
Mama. All
So we got
right.
Tammy.
All right. Well, I'm going to come around to that side of the camera.
We'll set you up.
And let's get me started. Let's get this Free Tip Friday show on the road.
Sylvia, hello from Alabama.
Hello, Sylvia from Alabama. Alrighty. So I'll just get everything into place. I'll take this over, Gracie. You
want
guys?
something right now?
No, I think I'm going to put it here. Grace is going to go back
Hi,
to.
everyone.
Yep. Thanks for getting us started, Grace. And I'll take it from here. So, what's that? What's that? Oh, I will. I'll holler for you, Gracie, if I get in a bind. Thank you. Alrighty. So I'm going to set you guys up right here so you guys can see. Let me know if we're in a good space. Hey, Pam from Nova Scotia. That's awesome. Good morning. Let me get this. Thanks for bearing with me here. You know, we're always so busy on a Friday trying to get everything ready for you guys for the weekend. So thanks for bearing with me here. I'm still trying to make my little stand sit nicely. You know what? I'm actually going to sit it right here on the table. There we go. I know, Gita, that bracelet sizer is awesome. I really like it. That's pretty good. You guys can see my hands. I'm going to scoot myself over a little bit. It's raining here in the Bay Area today. You know, those of you who are familiar California weather know that we don't always have a lot of rain, but today is a little gloomy. So it's looks like rain for the weekend. But spring is coming, you guys. Spring will spring eternal. So let me show you what I've got here. This is the bracelet from Wednesday's broadcast. Let me take it off so you guys can see it. So the Off the Cuff project was pretty cool. It had, you know, these components that I created, two different styles of components like so, and they were strung on this leather cord. Right, all of this. So, and you can go right to our homepage on beadshop.com, click on the Facebook Live button, and you can see the broadcast from Wednesday as well as a link to the project itself. So it's a pretty cool piece. But I thought, you know what we need to go with this? We need some earrings. So I've just grabbed, you know, in true fashion, Free Tip Friday, where our Wednesdays are always really planned out, our Free Tip Fridays are sometimes a little more literally off the cuff. So, whoops, I don't want my chain to go rolling too far. Let me straighten the camera so you guys can see. So, what I've been thinking about the last couple of days about my earring design is I thought I really want to kind of recreate this kind of the spirit of this piece. So we're going to do that, except I'm going to use, to connect my pieces, I'm going to use chain instead of leather. And there's a leather cord running underneath here. So let me show you what I mean. So just go with me. Come along for the ride, you guys. So here's my head pin. This is a regular 22 gauge head pin, and I'm using it in the copper the copper color, and I'm just going to straighten it using my nylon jawed plier, just like so. And I'm going to make a component. These were the components that I used in the cuff itself, right here. So maybe I'll make a component. I could use this component there, but I think I'm going to make a component that's a little bit narrower. And you know, my mom is watching. Thank you, Mama, for watching. You know, I'll tell you a story while I'm doing this. My mom and I, when I lived a little closer to her, she would come over and we would make jewelry. Well, one day, you know, my mom knows the story that I'm going to say. One day we created I don't know how many earrings, like it was 20 pairs of earrings, I think, in an hour. We were working as fast as we could because she was going to use them for, I think, a bazaar. She was going to sell them at like a charity bazaar. So it was pretty fun. We did like, you know, 20 pairs of earrings in an hour. It was kind of an epic earring making session. So earrings, I always think earrings are a really kind of fun and relaxing way to do a quick bit of beading. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I really do. So for more tips on what I'm doing here, you guys, this is just our simple rosary loop. If you go to the Facebook Live broadcast that we had last Wednesday on Off the Cuff, you can, there are links to our Lorraine, I too think it's really relaxing. There are links to the handout here, and we also have under our skill builders, we do have some skill builders that talk about how to do these rosary loops. But essentially, I'm using these eye pins, and what's really nice about these eye pins is that they're hardened or work hardened, and they already have the loop in one side, so they're really easy to work with. And Geeta is on it as always. Thank you, my dear friend, for making that link. Oh, you're welcome, Robin. I'm so glad we teach you things. You know, I always say to my students, I would teach all day, every day, if I could. It's my favorite thing to do. You know, I'm in my 25th year of teaching jewelry design, and I've met a lot of great students along the way. So, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera that way. But it's always been a really great joy for me to do that. And Geeta, thank you again for linking those in the comments. We really, really appreciate it. I don't know what we would do without you. So take a look, you guys, at what I've got going on here. And, oh, spiral bottom. I will, Ma. I'll put that on the end. That's a really good idea. I'll do a spiral. So you can see what I've got here. Okay? I've got these three little components. Can you see that? Oh, thank you, Darla. I appreciate that feedback. So what I'm going to do now, and you guys I really am totally making this up because I am not prepared for Free Tip Friday. Oh, thank you, Tammy. It does make me super happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 lengths of chain. I know shadow beads, my favorite. So what I've got here, just to reiterate what the components I'm using, it's the same components that I have in Off the Cuff. I've got the poppy jasper rice bead, I've got the 4mm fire polish here, and I've got some shadows beads. Okay. Oh, thanks, Lorraine. I'm glad that it's all smoke and mirrors, this calmness, right? No, I appreciate it. Oh, welcome, Linda. Welcome. It's good to have you. So I'm going to measure some chain, and you know, I use my index finger a lot for measuring. My index finger is about 3 inches long, and I usually have my finger with me. So, and 3 inches is a good way to do it. So I'm going to cut a 3-inch piece of chain right here, and I'm going to cut a second 3-inch piece of chain right here, just like so, and I'm going to clip them. Now, this is our circle back chain right here, circle back. And I thought it would be a cool one to use. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these three on, whoops, come back here, on this chain. Okay, so it's kind of reminiscent of the cuff I made, and you could use this as an alternate pattern for the cuff, right? You could, instead of using leather cord and stringing these on, you could just put these on chains. Let me open this up, add this in, and again, I'm just kind of riffing here, so bear with me. I'm going to open that up, close it really nicely with my chain nose. I'm going to try, when I connect it, I'm going to connect these two at the same time. Those are little shadows, Gita, that's right. And notice how, you guys, my loops are in the same, going the same direction on my components. Can you see that? How this loop and that loop are facing the same way? That's pretty important for what we've got going on here. So let me lay this out. You guys can see. So see how my little ladder, I'm making a little ladder there. So that's the thin one. Now I'm going to put in this wide one. And again, you guys, I have no idea how this is going to come out, so just bear with me. I'm going to skip a link because I feel like I need a little bit of air, and I'm going to try and make it go in the same direction as the piece above it. Then close it. Check it, you guys. Great. And let me put it in that one right there. And since this one's a little wider, it also needs, again, a little bit of air for it to sit nicely. Let me try and keep in frame. Sorry about that, you guys. And there we go. And close it up. So let's take a look and see what this looks like. If it's the right amount of air, if it's right going in. Yeah, I think that's good. So far, so good. Okay. So now I'm going to add this smaller one right there. And remember how Janice and I spoke about, those of you who saw our Wednesday broadcast, we spoke about getting these connectors all the same length. It was pretty important in the project to get them all the same length so that our piece, our bracelet, wouldn't be wavy. Well, I'm utilizing this long and short length because I actually think I want this earring to be wavy. So this is when I would do that deliberately. Let me see if I can see which link this goes into. I think it goes into this. Whoops. Sometimes don't your fingers feel like gigantic, like you can't quite make them do what you want them to do? Come on now. I'm the boss of you, chain. Let me get my needle nose pliers. There we go. And slide that chain link in. Right? I know, my fingers, they feel like giant sausages today. There we go. Working with this fine little chain. So let's see what we've got. Great. So I've got a nice kind of connection here. And maybe this one in the middle might be a little, it might be a little long. So you know what? I'm never daunted about changing something up, you know, so I'm going to change that real quick to this. I think that this component actually in the middle will look better. So we're just going to take it off. No big deal. No biggie. Don't cry over spilled beads, you guys. It's all good. Take that sucker out. No mistakes, only learning experiences. That's my motto. So there's my little ladder. Right, yeah, and I could just have more space in between. I'm just going to go ahead. Right, I could. That's exactly right, Tammy. It needs maybe a little bit more air to make that piece look right. But instead of taking all those apart, I'm just going to make a shorter one. But that's exactly right. And if you experiment, sorry you guys, I'm trying to stay in frame here. If you experiment with this design, you can leave a few more links of air. But I'm going to go ahead and add this right into that link and into that link. So let me open that loop. Whoops, wrong side. Open that loop. Put that sucker on. And let's do the same for the other side. I'm going to turn it around, open this loop up, get that correct link of chain. I think it's that one. We'll see when it all comes out. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble staying in frame today without my Gracie. Oh, I like that idea, Robin. You use the time watching me to organize my table and put your new bead shop beads in order. Great. Oh, thank you, Katrina, and hello to your grandbabies. How nice that is of you guys to watch all together. So let me get a close-up so you guys can see what this looks like. There we go. So I've got my 3 little units of chain. Now again, this could be the starting point for a design variation on the cuff. Can you see that there? Whoops, I just kind of screwed everything up. There we go. See, so we could do something with chain. Again, this is our circle back chain versus stringing on the leather. So if I were going to make this into an earring though, because it's all about the earrings, let me just earring this right up. So I'm going to pinch kind of at the top and the bottom, and I'm going to use my, oh, your British short hair. And British short hair, that's a kitty cat, right? I think, Geeta, we love kitty cats around here. I have one too, my kitty cat Abby. She's quite a voluptuous lady, that Abby. So see here, whoops, again, sorry about not being in frame, but I'm going to pull this guy together and I'm going to bring it together with some jump rings. Oh, they have 4, yeah, you know, kitties are so soothing. You know, when I go over to work over at Janice's sometimes on our Fridays, she has 2 really nice kitty cats that are very inquisitive and curious. So, oh, Abby's a good pet name. I know a couple of people that have their pets called Abby. She and my husband are a really bonded pair, that's for sure. So I'm going to come in with this jump ring, and I'm going to take this out, and I'm just going to count how many rings I need to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go 5 rings to give myself a little bit of air, and 5 rings on this side. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to close this up. So can you guys see what happened here? All of this came together, and I'm going to cut away my remaining chain. Like that one. And that one, and keep these little bits of chain to the side. Pardon me, I sneezed. Pardon me. And then, it's the beauty of live video, right? You can sneeze. If you've got to sneeze, you've got to sneeze. I'm going to come in. I'm going to add that ear wire. That's our lever back ear wire. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. So take a look. Bam. This is starting to look like a pretty cool earring. I may have to play around with the loops a little bit, but it looks like it's hanging okay so far. Now, I'll bring these sides together. Yes. Oh, I like to know that. Prosit in Danish. I like that. I just love that we are such a multicultural multilingual group here on the Facebook Live. It makes it seem like our beading world is just, all of my friends are just a camera or a Facebook Live feed away. It's awesome. I love this community. Oh, thanks, Sherry. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm making a little dangle down here at the bottom. I'm going to close it up, and then I'll do the same thing I did up here, but I'll do it on the opposite end. And maybe I'll make this, I don't know, maybe I'll make it long. You can decide what length. Oh, you're welcome, Geeta. It's my pleasure. You know, like Janice says, Wednesdays and now Fridays, they're some of my favorite days of the week. I'm going to make this nice and long. You can decide, though, the length that you might like. But so far, I think the chain might need a little bit of playing around with. But let me put my, let me see if I can maybe get my hand behind here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Or maybe like that is better. There we go. So can you see how my pieces are sitting here in the center? And I think it's a pretty good, if I turn it to the camera, it's a pretty good silhouette. I need to double check and make sure to troubleshoot this. It looks like that one of my little loops is kind of off right there, which is fine. I can turn that around, but I'll actually lay this down so you guys can see a little bit of a better look. So see that there? And then my mom said something. I'll do this one last thing. My mom requested a spiral, which I have these little bits of wire left over. They are kind of pretty, right? They might take a little more playing, and maybe I might make these loops a little bit smaller, but it's kind of a cool thing, I think. Kind of a cool design that I think it has some pretty good potential. I'm going to grab this little bit of wire that I had, and I'm going to make, it's fun to just use these little bits. I'm going to come in with my chain nose plier, make a little tiny loop, and I'm going to come in and flatten that loop with my pliers and rotate it up. Rotate, 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 rotate until I have, right? I do too, Tammy, until I have a nice little spiral component. Can you see that? And I'm going to turn it back on itself. So I have a little spiral charm. Now that little spiral charm I could add on the ends here. I could add down here with the dangle. I could add up here, right? Oh, I know, right? I agree. Just playing with wire gives you a whole bunch of interesting options. I could make one more, and it's, again, you guys, just these little dregs of the eye pins that I've just made into little spirals, and they're not even that, perfect, but if you had your bench block and your chasing hammer, you could go ahead and flatten those out if you wanted. So see, I've got all of those little guys right there. So and you could change things out. I could add, I could add some dangles with the bugle beads. I could really do just whatever I felt like doing. I think it's kind of cool. Let me make sure you guys can see that, what's going on there. But I think it's great. Oh, a spiral head pin. Yeah, so I could do that, Ma. But my mom is saying you could get a length of wire and just do a little spiral at the bottom, and it would be a great spiral head pin. And you could put it right there at the bottom as well. It would look cool. Okay. We knew head pun meant head pin, Ma, I think. Or at least I did. Awesome. So here's my little crazy mix of, messy beads. My bead table looks just like yours, for sure. Well, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to sign off for you guys. Alrighty, so thank you guys so much for joining me on the Free Tip Friday, kind of playing around with wire and making a cool earring to go with our off-the-cuff projects. I know, right? You'll never know what you're able to make with your scraps, Tammy, that's for sure. Well, we've got coming up next week, Janice and I have our very epic, gigantic, wonderful jewelry repair show. We're preparing for it. We actually started talking about it yesterday. We've gotten a lot of great questions. We've got some really, really great things to share with you, including Janice's very special technique on how to wash pearls. It's kind of her signature thing that she does, which is going to be really cool. Also, if you haven't checked your newsletter yet today, you guys go check your newsletter. We're doing a great giveaway for the next 4 days, today and then the next 3 days through Monday. So you don't want to miss that. And there's a great special offer in there. I'm not going to tell you what it is here, but go to your beadshop.com newsletter. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, you can go right on to our website, beadshop.com. Scroll down a little bit. There's a newsletter box. Put in your newsletter, put in your email rather, and you'll get a newsletter right into your email box. And that's a great way to stay connected with us. Alrighty. Oh, well, great. Yes, an episode on organizing tips and tricks. That's a great idea. We are going to play around with that as well. Oh, thanks. Yeah, these were a fun one that I did for Wirework magazine a while ago. So, all right, well, beat on, Linda, beat on, everybody. Good morning, Donna. You're going to have to watch maybe the rest of this on replay, but you can find all of these free Tip Fridays and all of our regular Facebook Live broadcasts on our YouTube channel, as well as you can find our Facebook Live broadcasts on Wednesdays archived right on our Facebook Live page on beadshop.com. All right, you guys, it's Kate Richberg from beadshop.com. Over and out. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. And hi to your mom. Hi to your mom, Gita. All righty, I will. Bye-bye.